back to Tarot Tuesday. I'm Amy the Medium, and today I thought it'd be really fun to just tackle some of the most popular searches on Google related to the tarot. So what I have open on my screen is just a Google window. I just searched tarot to begin with so that we've got some results there. And then I'm just going to see what the auto suggest populates when I type in tarot or various words connected to the tarot. So let's see what we get. All right, so if I type in what, I get the very first thing, what is tarot? So as we know from these videos, tarots are just cards that are used as tools to help in psychic readings and predictive readings, in your own intuitive readings for yourself. They're just fun little cards that have been created, that have been used for hundreds of years to do this sort of divination work. Oh, this is fun. Tarot cards, scientific proof. So I don't know that you could actually have scientific proof as to whether or not tarot cards themselves do anything, because they're just cardboard and paper with images on it. So that would be like saying, is there scientific proof that a painting can predict the future? I don't think so. The scientific proof should be more in, is the person using the cards giving accurate information? And there have been studies that have been done on that. So that's a better search for you to do is there scientific proof behind psychic readings or intuitive readings? Better search. In the same search, are tarot cards evil? This is one of those like common misconceptions that we have, that the cards themselves have any sort of power in them. There is a history within different religious organizations that at one time or another wanted their congregations to follow the tenets of their religious faith. And so they would label things like tarot cards as evil. And if you use them, then you must be a witch or a heretic or something that could be prosecuted. And so that belief has persisted over generations. So yes, some people now believe that the tarot cards are evil. Usually there is some sort of religious connotation or belief behind that. But in and of themselves, no, the cards are just, again, it's paper with artwork on it. So they have no power to hold any sort of energy, good or bad. Next one on here, do tarot cards bring spirits? No, they don't. But the practitioner who's using them may bring spirits. And this brings to mind a couple of readings that I've done lately where I've been focused on doing a psychic reading, but a card will come up in the reading and maybe, let's say, like the Empress. And all of a sudden when I look at the Empress, boom, there's the mother of the person I'm reading for who's shown up to say, hey, I need to give a message to my daughter. So the cards didn't bring the spirit in, but because I was focused on using those as a tool to bring the message through to my client that they needed, that card of the Empress triggered for me the connection to the spirit world. So I was able to bring that spirit through for my sitter. That didn't have anything to do with the cards themselves, though. Like I said, they were a tool that just made my mind active enough and focused enough to go, oh, I need to open this up broader. So the cards don't bring them through, but the practitioner does. Do tarot cards tell the truth? They should tell the truth, but I say they in the sense of you as the reader should be able to pick up on the truth of the situation from your client with the help of the cards as the tool. So again, the cards themselves, they don't have power, so they don't tell the truth. We as readers tell the truth. Oh, this is fun. When tarot cards fly out. So I don't know if you've ever had this happen, but either you or your client is shuffling the deck and a card or two will fly out of the deck. What does that mean when that happens? There's a lot of different beliefs behind it. Personally, I believe that it's all superstition, but it's fun anyway. So my belief is if a card flies out of the deck, that information that card brings forward for you be part of the reading. There are other people that believe if the cards fly out of the deck, they're not needed, that whatever information they hold is not necessary for the reading. So you can look at it either way. It doesn't really matter, but it is kind of fun when they do fly out, because oftentimes when they do fly out of the deck, it's not something that's expected, and usually it's part of a traditional shuffle where you should have a good handle on things. So it is kind of weird and shocking when they do fly out of the deck. So personally, what I do when they fly out of the deck is I include them in the reading. But I know people that if they fly out of the deck, they let those go. All right, let's see. Oh, fun ones in here as well. When tarot is wrong. The cards are never wrong. It's the reader that's wrong. So make sure that when you're getting a reading done that you go to somebody that you trust. go by word of mouth, go by reputation. If you live in the Bay Area, feel free to come and get a reading from me. If you don't live in the Bay Area, I'm happy to give suggestions of reputable readers who I know of throughout the US. So I would say the tarot is only wrong when you get a poor reader. When tarot cards don't make sense. So this can happen even if you are a really practiced reader who knows to use them as a tool, who knows to tap into your intuition. You may be getting cards that they're contradicting each other, but usually that's very relevant to the situation. So if you just sit with it and work with the energy that's coming through in the reading, it will start to make sense over time. When a tarot card is upside down, we all know my feelings on this. I hate reading reversals. It puts too much attention and too much energy into the cards themselves, but there are people that love to do that, and I think it just adds a fun element to a reading if that's what you're down for. So if your card is upside down, it's called a reversal. People will reverse the meaning of what that card would be in the upright. Where to buy tarot cards? My recommendation is always go into a store. Make sure that you can see and handle the deck before you buy it. The last thing you want to do is buy a deck based off of the artwork that you see on the box, and then once you get the deck itself, you're like, oh, I hate the art of the cards. So you definitely want to make sure that if you're buying online, that you have a resource where you can see different faces of the cards so that you can get a sense of whether you're going to like it or not. Here's other things. All right, so others pre-suggested what people ask. Can tarot cards predict the future? No, they can't. They can help to clarify the direction we're going in and give a glimpse into possibilities, but they're not going to actually predict the future. Even your reader can only predict the future to a point. Because we have free will and choice, the future can always change. This is fun. Is it bad luck to buy tarot cards for yourself? No. Is it bad to read your own tarot cards? No, but when you read for yourself, you're always biased, and so you may miss some information that perhaps you need to hear or need to understand. So it is a little bit more difficult to read for yourself because you're naturally going to avoid unpleasantries. Because you don't really want to hear what you don't want to hear. So yes, you can read your own tarot, but I would always recommend, if you have someone else you know who reads, to ask them for a reading, and maybe you can do a trade to give parity. So it's not bad, but it is a little more difficult. Can tarot cards drain your energy? It's a piece of paper with art on it. No, they can't. If your energy is being drained, if you're exhausted after a reading, it's something that you are doing, and it's also a belief that you have that's causing your energy to be drained. If you believe it takes a lot of work and it's really difficult and it's exhausting to read and it's exhausting to open up, then yeah, that's what you're going to manifest for yourself. But if you believe that it's simple and that the cards are just a tool and it's very easy for you to interpret, then that's what you're going to have as well. So the cards don't drain your energy, neither should you be draining your own energy. So if that's happening, just check yourself to figure out why you believe that has to happen. All right, can anyone do tarot readings? Yes, anyone can do readings, anyone can use the cards. It's just how you're using it and to what level of intuitive accuracy you have that's going to vary. What should I keep my cards in? There are different beliefs. A lot of people believe you should keep them in a bag. There are others that believe you should keep them in a box. My opinion, it doesn't matter where you keep your cards. Just do what works for you. I have most of mine in their original boxes, just in a plastic bin in my office. I don't put them on any special display. I don't give them any special treatment. So it's to each their own. How long does it take to learn tarot? A lifetime, but you can start working with them from the moment you buy your first deck or from the moment you read your first book. Just to have a basic understanding of what it is and how it's used is all you really need. The more you learn, the more depth you can have with the deck. But if the question is more, how long does it take to feel like you can do an accurate, decent reading? I would say maybe a year. But that's, I would say, a year using the cards heavily. But it takes a lot of time to really hone your intuition to the point that you don't rely on the cards as much. How many times should you get a tarot reading? This is a great question. What I would recommend is to get a reading only when you feel you absolutely need one, but to give yourself about 3 months in between readings. And the reason that I say that is because if you think about it, in the day-to-day running of your life, not a lot happens within a month that's hugely life-changing or life-altering. Even in 2 months, a lot of things stay the same, but within 3 months' time, you can actually sense and feel progress and change in your life. And so that's what I like to recommend to people, is do a reading once every 3 months at most. How do you protect yourself when reading tarot cards? You don't need to. There's no protection necessary. They're not evil. Nothing about it is evil. So protection, meh. What can I do with unwanted tarot cards? So if you don't want your cards anymore, you can throw them away, you can burn them, you can give them to a friend, you can sell them, you can do whatever you want with them. There's no special way that you need to dispose of them. Think of them like a playing card deck. If you were going to dispose of a playing card deck that you didn't want, how would you do that? Do the same with the tarot. Okay, so that was a lot of questions. I know that there are more, but these are the ones that have been top searched and suggested via Google. So hopefully this video has stopped you from needing to do these searches on your own, because I've answered them for you. If you have more questions, feel free to place them in the comments. I will do my best to answer and respond, but I hope that this has been a little bit informative for you. I hope that you've gotten a little more clarity about some of the weird nuances in general of the tarot that people often wonder about. That is this week's Tarot Tuesday, and I look forward to seeing you in next week's video. Take care.